Qingxi, the Chinese pirate queen who commanded hundreds of ships. In the turbulent waters of the South China Sea during the early 19th century, one name struck fear into the hearts of sailors, merchants, and imperial officials alike. Qingxi. Known as the Terror of South China, Qingxi was no ordinary pirate. She was a woman who rose from humble origins to become the most formidable pirate lord in history, commanding a fleet of hundreds of ships and an army of thousands. Born in 1775 in Guangdong Province, she transitioned from a life as a prostitute to the wife of a pirate captain, and after his death, seized control of his empire with unmatched cunning and ruthlessness. From 1807 to 1810, her red flag fleet terrorized coastal villages, defied the Qing dynasty, and outwitted European navies, cementing her legend as a pirate queen who ruled the seas. This essay delves into Qingxi's extraordinary life, her ascent to power, the structure of her pirate empire, her battles with empires, and the legacy of a woman who turned chaos into order on the high seas. Qingxi's story begins in obscurity. Born Shi Yang in 1775 in the bustling port of Canton, modern-day Guangzhou, little is known of her early years beyond her roots in poverty. By her late teens, she worked as a prostitute in a floating brothel, one of Canton's flower boats, serving sailors and merchants in a city teeming with trade and vice. Her beauty, sharp wit, and resilience caught the eye of Zheng Yi, a seasoned pirate captain who commanded the Red Flag Fleet, a coalition of junks raiding the Pearl River Delta. In 1801, Zheng Yi married Qingxi, some say abducted her, elevating her from sex worker to pirate consort. At 26, she was no passive bride. She learned the trade, mastering navigation, combat, and the art of intimidation alongside her husband. Zheng Yi, ambitious and ruthless, had united 6 pirate factions under the Red Banner, amassing 200 ships by 1804. Qingxi, though behind the scenes, absorbed his strategies, forging alliances and honing her leadership, a foundation that would soon bear fruit. Their partnership thrived, producing 2 sons, but fate intervened on November 16, 1807, when Zheng Yi died in a storm off Vietnam, leaving his fleet and his widow at a crossroads. Zheng Yi's death could have shattered the Red Flag Fleet, but Qingxi seized the moment with breathtaking audacity. At 32, widowed and untested, she faced a power vacuum, rival captains eyeing her husband's throne. Rather than retreat, she acted swiftly, leveraging her late husband's name and her own charisma. Within days, she declared herself commander, rallying the fleet's 1,500 men and 200 junks under her red flag. To secure loyalty, she allied with Zheng Yi's protege, Chung Po-tsai, a 21-year-old captain she adopted as her stepson and, some claim, took as a lover, later marrying him in 1809 to cement their dynasty. Qingxi's rule was no fluke. It was a masterclass in control. She imposed a strict code of conduct, rarer among pirates than myth suggests, ensuring discipline across her sprawling armada. Decapitation awaited those who disobeyed orders, raped captives, or stole from the collective treasury. Rules etched in blood to bind her men. Women captives were ransomed or, if willing, married to crew, with infidelity punishable by death. Her fleet swelled to 400 junks, some accounts say 600, crewed by 40,000 pirates by 1810, dwarfing any rival or navy. From a brothel to a throne, Qingxi transformed herself into a maritime sovereign, her name a whisper of dread along China's coast. The Red Flag Fleet was no ragtag band. It was a floating empire, meticulously organized and devastatingly effective, divided into 6 squadrons, red, black, white, blue, yellow, and green. Each flew its colored flag, led by a trusted lieutenant under Qingxi's command. Junks ranged from small, swift boats to 300-ton warships bristling with cannons, 20 to 40 per vessel, outrunning and outgunning foes. Crews, a mix of fishermen, deserters, and outlaws, were paid from a communal pot, with 20% of loot shared, 80% stored for fleet upkeep, a system that curbed mutiny and fueled loyalty. Their reach was staggering. From Guangdong to Vietnam, they plundered merchant ships, silk, opium, rice, raided coastal towns, and extorted protection from villages, amassing untold riches. In 1808, they sank a Qing convoy off Leishou Peninsula, seizing salt and gold, while their spies infiltrated ports, feeding intelligence. European traders, British, Portuguese, Dutch, fell prey too, their frigates no match for Qing Shi's swarming tactics. Her fleet's size and discipline made it a navy in all but name, an autonomous power the Qing dynasty could neither ignore nor subdue. Qing Shi's reign clashed with two titans, the Qing dynasty and Western powers. By 1808, her fleet's audacity, blockading Canton, sinking imperial junks, outraged Emperor Jiaqing, who unleashed his navy. In January 1808, Admiral Kuo Lang led 93 warships against her at Lantau Island, only to lose 40 vessels in a rout. Qing Shi's firebombs and ambushes turned the tide. Later that year, she crushed another fleet near Humen, capturing 63 ships and forcing survivors to join her ranks. Qing governors, humiliated, banned trade to starve her out. But her coastal raids, 100 villages in 1809, kept supplies flowing. The British East India Company, guarding opium routes, fared no better. In 1809, HMS Mercury clashed with her junks off Macau, retreating under cannon fire. Portuguese frigates met similar fates. Her fleet's numbers and agility overwhelmed lone ships. Qing Shi's dominance peaked in 1809, controlling the South China Sea from Hainan to Fujian, her red flags a pirate nation flaunting imperial impotence. By 1810, Qing Shi's empire faced mounting pressure. Qing Admiral Ting He bolstered his navy with Portuguese aid. 6 sloops under Captain José Piedad, cornering her fleet near the Pearl River Delta. In January, a 2-week battle raged at Chek-Lap-Kok. Her junks held, but losses mounted. 200 ships sunk, thousands dead. Exhaustion crept in. 3 years of war strained men and morale. Yet Qing Shi, ever shrewd, saw an exit. Amnesty. Negotiating with Governor-General Bai Ling, she surrendered in April 1810, not in defeat, but triumph. Terms were bold. Her fleet disbanded, but 17,318 pirates, herself included, gained pardons, keeping their loot. Chung Po Tsai joined the Qing Navy as a captain, granted 20 junks. Qing Shi, at 35, retired with her fortune, 2 sons, and a legend intact. The deal stunned rivals. Most pirates faced execution, but her leverage, crippling Qing trade, won her freedom. Post-1810, Qing Shi faded from the seas but not from power. Settling in Canton, she ran a gambling den and brothel, ironic echoes of her youth, amassing wealth until her death in 1844 Tai 69 Tuoi, surrounded by family, including a son with Chung Po Tsai. Her retirement was no exile. She wielded influence, a shadow queen in Guangdong's underworld, her past a whispered epic. Qing Shi's reign left an indelible mark. Her fleet, 400-600 ships, 40,000 men, outstripped history's male pirates like Blackbeard, 5 ships, or Kidd. Her code disciplined an anarchic trade, while her victories humbled empires, exposing Qing frailty, hastening its 19th century decline. On February 4, 2025, as piracy shifts to cyber seas, her story resonates. A woman who turned victimhood into dominion. Culturally, she's a titan. Hong Kong films, Pirates of the Crimson Flag, novels, The Flower Boat Girl, 2-1, and lore paint her as a feminist icon, ruthless yet just. Historians like Diane Murray laud her organization, a floating state, defying patriarchy and dynasty alike. Her junks, lost to time, sail in myth, a red flag fluttering over a sea she once ruled. Qing Shi, from Canton's brothels to the South China Sea's throne, forged a pirate empire unmatched in scope and daring. Commanding hundreds of ships from 1807 to 1810, she defied Qing and European might. Her reign a tempest of plunder and power. On February 4, 2025, her name endures. Not just a pirate, but a queen who bent history's tides. Surrendering on her terms, she traded cannon for calm, leaving a legacy etched in salt and blood. Qing Shi, the woman who ruled the waves when empires trembled. If you enjoyed this story and want more incredible historical tales, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps us bringing you more amazing content. Stay tuned for more.